everyone, my name is Emilio Q. Welcome to my channel. And in today's videos, I'm going to go ahead and talk about why I love watching older films. And when I say older films, I mean films that were made during the 70s, made during like the 1920s, 30s, all the way to the 1970s. Because when you look at that history of film, whether it be American cinema, foreign cinema, from different countries, there's just this huge era of just filmmakers making some of the greatest films of all time, and I still have yet to see some of these movies, but I'll just name some of the classic films I saw recently. And sometimes I watch older films for the first time, and I don't like them at first, but I try rewatching them, and I guess I find a new appreciation for them the more I rewatch them. A great example is a movie like Rashomon, which is directed by Akira Kurosawa. When I first saw that movie, I kind of thought it was like a boring film. I was like, okay, there's not really that much action in it, and it's just this weird, over-dramatic drama about, I guess, what it means to be a human being. Could human beings be good in society? I don't know. But anyways, throughout the years, I've rewatched it again, and I've had a huge appreciation for the film due to how the movie is shot visually. Akira Kurosawa is one of those filmmakers that just knows how to tell a film visually. And also, all the actors that in his films, he uses most of the same actors, or he used most of the same actors for most of his movies, specifically the movies that he made throughout the 50s and 60s. But all the performances in that film is just amazing. The performance that the female character gives is great, because one minute she's like this, innocent damsel in distress, and then, through the end of the film, she gives this performance where she's almost like an evil witch, to some extent. But yeah, Rashomon is a movie that, and also I just love how the movie is shot. Like, the movie was shot on film, it was shot in the woods, and it just has this beautiful filmic aesthetic. And if you were to remake that movie today, it probably would not have the same aesthetic or the same feel. The movie would probably look better because it's shot with better cameras. It would probably have more stylistic action, but I don't think it would feel the same as to how, and it wouldn't portray the message the same way as that movie does. Now, that movie is kind of a controversial film because it is a film about, a crime that leads to a murder. But, I remember watching it and being like, okay, that was boring, but I rewatched it again and I have appreciation for it. Sometimes there's older films that I just watch and I just love them right off the bat. I don't know why. I was 13 when I saw this film, but for some reason, I just love Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver spoke to me when I was 13. I think everyone can feel for Travis Bickle. I think if you are a man, even if you're a woman, you can relate to loneliness. And the Taxi Driver is kind of like a warning call for what loneliness can do to men. What happens when we obsess over people that we want, and it leads us to do crazy things. Like, I don't know, when I saw Taxi Driver the first time as a 13-year-old, I just loved it. Also, when it came to movies like Dirty Harry, Dog Day Afternoon, like, I was aware that I'm watching something that was made way before my time, but I just love the look of those films. I love the aesthetic, and also all the performances and acting in those films are just so great. So I remember, watching movies like that when I was 13, and I wanted to watch more older films. And as I've gotten older, I've seen a huge variety of older films. I've gotten into watching, of course, Akira Kurosawa films, Alfred Hitchcock films, films made during the French New Wave. I'm not like a hardcore cinephile. I don't know the names of all these filmmakers, and there's sometimes I will watch an old movie and I will be like, okay, that is honestly like kind of boring. Like Andrew Tarkovsky, a lot of people love him, and there's like only one movie of his that I absolutely love, and that is Andre Robel. I think that's how you say it, and that is just a great film. But some of his films are just too challenging, and sometimes like they're not for me. But anyways, I think it's good for people to watch older films just because it kind of transports you to a time and a different era where, films are just made differently and they were shot differently. They weren't shot digitally like how modern day films are shot. At least most modern day films are shot digitally. And even if they are shot on film, they're going to be produced digitally, and you're going to go to a theater where you're going to get that image projected digitally as opposed to 35mm celluloid. I don't know. I've been trying to make this video so many times. But I'm just going to end this video here and say, if you're a person who loves watching older films, let me know, like, what is the first movie that you considered old? Like, a movie made like maybe 30 years before your time that you saw, and you were just blown away at how well done the movie was. It could be a movie like Dr. Zhivago, Lawrence of Arabia. I'm like, wow, they don't make movies like that anymore, and they never will. And if you're a person who hasn't seen older films, you know, you're just stuck watching the modern films that are produced by Disney, you know, I would highly recommend going out and watching older movies. You know, just get an appreciation for them. Like, if you're a person who loves superhero films, but you haven't seen the original Christopher Reeve Superman, that's crazy. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Watch more classic films. And, yeah, my name's Emil. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.